Hey, how's it going, guys? It's the Llamaster here, and welcome back to another episode of 5 Facts, Secrets, and Glitches you probably never knew in Rocket League. Now, in this episode, we probably have one of the best episodes we've ever had, because we have some amazing Easter eggs, some amazing secrets, and even a couple funny little glitches that you've probably never seen before. Now, before we get into that, I do have an awesome announcement for you about one of my sponsors, GamerLink, the 100% free teammate finding app for Rocket League, and that is that they added a brand new clan feature. So on top of just being an awesome way to find other players for Rocket League, whether you're doing competitive, just playing casual, you can now create these clans, which are just basically huge groups for things like trading. And in fact, it's actually amazing for trading because you can make these huge groups and send messages back and forth, but you can also use it as a place to just talk with your teammates and friends on the go. So if you haven't checked out GamerLink yet, be sure to do so through the link in the description, and when you sign up, do not forget to click that the Llamaster sent you for this limited badge to use in the app. But anyways, guys, enough general talk here, and let's jump into it with the first secret. Alright guys, so starting this off, let's get into a secret that has to do with one of the most popular crates in the game, or at least what started out as the most popular crate in the game, the Champion Series 2 crate. So with this crate, as you already know, it contained the Voltaics, and it was kind of the start of getting these mystery decals, these painted wheels, and it was definitely a great start for trading. Now within this crate, there's a certain decal that is kind of interesting and kind of has a cool little story behind it. Now the item that I'm talking about is the rare decal that goes by the name of Whizzle and is for the Takumi car. So with this decal, it's a very simple one that a lot of people just kind of look over, but again, there's something very cool about it, and it's not that it just has this giant Rocket League ball on top of it, which you know is pretty interesting on its own, but the story behind its name is what we want to talk about. Now this isn't like some of the other items where Whizzle is just kind of like an interesting word that fits with the item, because if you happen to look up Whizzle online, you'll really only get like a definition that defines it as making a whizzing sound or to get by stealth or cunning, which as you can probably already tell doesn't really make much sense. Now what does make sense for naming this Whizzle is that Whizzle is actually one of Psyonix's first games. That's right, and I know you probably never even knew this game existed because I really didn't even know it existed, but basically it's this vertical scrolling puzzle type game that's set deep under the sea, and it was mainly made to demonstrate a bunch of things that you can do with the Unreal Development Kit. But if you take a look at the main character that you control, you can see that this guy is clearly the design that is on the hood of the Takumi. Now what's kind of funny is that after I discovered this little secret, I was actually talking to one of the artists over at Psyonix, and the artist that I was talking to, Eric Beckman, was actually the one that designed this decal. And what's cool is that he said when he was designing this, he originally made it to look like a sugar skull, which is that interesting like Dia de los Muertos type art style in Mexico, and when he was designing it, it just kind of happened to turn into the character from Whizzle, so he just decided to roll with it, and that was how this decal got created. But it's always awesome to see a little bit of Psyonix's past brought into Rocket League and stuff like this. Now speaking of awesome Easter eggs, this one right here is maybe one of my favorites, just because it's so sneaky, and it has to do with my new favorite wheels in the game, the Apex wheels, or more specifically the titanium white version. But this is an Easter egg that applies to every single one of the Apex wheels, and no, it is not the Rocket League ball that is clearly on the center of them, but it is a little secret that has to do with their design. So before we get into that, I do have to give props to Tug Life on Reddit for figuring this out. I really don't know how he connected the dots so quickly, but it was no doubt an amazing freaking find. So yeah, taking a look at the Apex wheels, they have a very interesting design to them that you wouldn't really think has anything special to them. I mean, it's got these very interesting spokes and kind of like a hexagon type pattern in the middle along with that Rocket League ball, but overall you wouldn't think there's a secret there. However, this is clearly not the case, because if we happen to go into the map DFH Stadium and hover above the center and look straight down at it, you can clearly see that the Apex wheels are directly referencing this design. Like, it is literally one for one. Every single spoke, the ones on the sides, the ones going up and down, even the diagonal ones that connect with the little curve on top, and also that hexagon pattern is the exact same thing for both this map and the Apex wheels. So yeah, definitely an insane secret, and again, thanks to Tug Life for somehow figuring this out. As for the third fact of this episode, this one is a pretty hilarious one, and it's kind of a glitch. I'm not really sure if you can call it a glitch, but it does have to do with one of the coolest wheels in the game, the Dracos. So yeah, speaking of the Dracos, if you didn't know, if you've never had them or something, when you're driving with them in game, one of the more unique things about them, and I know they already have like a ton of unique things, but something that's kind of special about them is that the dragon head doesn't move when you're driving around. Instead, it just stays there upright, spewing out fire like usual, and you might be wondering why exactly did they choose to do this? And in fact, fact, there's actually a very good reason for it. Because if you choose to go into customized car and then go over to rocket trails when you have on the Draco wheels, you can then decide to choose the burnout, which just does, it does that. It makes them just completely freak out, which, you know, doesn't quite look right. Now, what's funny about this is you can occasionally see this happen in game, especially in like replays and stuff like that. Sometimes the Draco wheels glitch out, and unfortunately I couldn't get a video of it. That's kind of how rare it is. But once in a while when I'm using the Dracos, they do decide to spin like this just randomly. Now, I don't know why they do that, but this just overall is a very good reason for keeping these still. Moving on to the fourth secret of this episode. This one is hilarious. I don't even know how to explain it to you guys because it is just so random, but I guess I'll try my best here. Technically, this is a glitch, but really I just kind of have to show you guys this one. But basically, in order to see this secret, just go into training from the main menu and select free play, and then when you're choosing an arena, you want to go over to Utopia Snowy. No other Utopia map, not Utopia Coliseum, not Utopia Dawn, Utopia Snowy, and just load it up from there. Now, once you're in the map, prepare yourself for something really weird here, but drive towards the center line and then go towards the wall right here, and then when you drive up it a little bit, you can see that for some reason there is a random unicorn horn topper just floating there. That's right, I have no idea why this is here. I have no idea how this even could get here considering it's a freaking topper. It's not something that you just accidentally put onto a map. It's only supposed to go on top of cars. So how in the world did it randomly get onto Utopia Snowy of all maps? So if for some reason you know why this is here, be sure to leave a comment down below. But as of right now, it's just kind of one of those awesome, hilarious, random things to show to your friends. Now, as for the final fact or secret of this episode, we're going back into some items to talk about a certain decal that has another Easter egg kind of similar to the Whizzle one, meaning it is also a pretty awesome one. So to see this Easter egg, instead of going to the Takumi, of course, we actually want to go to the car, the Ripper. So even though you don't see this car used very much anymore, well, I mean, you really only see Dominuses and Octanes anyways, but overall, it's one of the coolest, most unique cars that has been added into the game. Now, with this car is a certain decal that has some interesting little secrets about it. Now, the decal that I am talking about is the one that's all the way at the bottom called Tribal. But the thing that makes this one so special is that it has these Moai heads on the side of it. Now, where have we seen these Moai heads before? Of course, you have the antenna itself, which is kind of the start of this Easter egg trend, which if you didn't know, you get by putting in the Konami code at the main menu. But along with that, there's also one on Neo Tokyo, which we talked about in a previous episode. But as you can clearly see, this same Easter egg has been brought to the Ripper in quite an interesting style. So I don't know why one has like an eye patch and then one on the other side says Lord Sand with like a crazy freaking hairdo. But either way, they're clearly the Moai and clearly another extension of this awesome Easter egg. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button as well as subscribe for more of these, and do not forget to check out the previous episode, which is here on the left, and also my most recent video on the right, a top 10 of the best community goals. But other than that, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm the Llama Sir, and I will see you guys next time.